What's going on? Welcome to John Boy and Jake Radio. It's June 2nd. It's episode number 220. Jake and I are wearing the same shirt. Oh, BBD's wearing a John Boy and Jake shirt as well. Wow, we all came geared up for this episode of John Boy and Jake Radio. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. We appreciate you. Jake, how are you doing today? You got the Tuesday blues?
I think there's more than that going on. Yeah, a little Tuesday blues, little worldwide blues. Not worldwide, America. America blues. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. I mean, I was obviously, this is the first JJR show, so we'll we won't catch everyone up. What's going on, but last night again. We recorded Talking Yanks last night, and yeah, it was kind of nice to do our voicemail episode and get away for a little bit after talking about everything that's going on in this country, and then get right back onto Twitter, get in the weeds, exhaust myself, which again, who knows if I'm doing it for me or hoping that one person sees my Twitter feed and can gain a little knowledge from it. But Jess was going to bed, and it was like 10:45, and I was like, "Hey, I'm exhausted, but I think I want to watch the 11 p.m. Sports Center because Passon might be on there." At bedtime last night, the Knicks stuff was running hot, so I was like, maybe there will be some Knicks stuff on there. Passed out, slept on the couch all night, lights on.
Wow.
Yeah, I was exhausted. I burnt myself out, and then you wake up and you get back into it again, because you kind of have to. And I mean, I saw the Seattle stuff this morning, started crying, and it's just it's a wreck. It was unbelievable for me to think like what's going on in the streets of this country would have happened like as of a month ago. I don't know.
Yeah, well, a month the streets were empty, which is like another just weird juxtaposition with the corona in the mix.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How are you?
Doing good.
Tough intro by me.
I'm doing good. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's pretty sad because there's so many peaceful protesters and there's so many videos that are heartwarming and good, like, that should be highlighted. And then there's so many that are just so fucked up that I'm tracking that San Jose police officer's name. I can't wait until he's fired or like something. Jared Yun, whatever his name is. Fuck that guy. But I'm kind of putting a lot of it onto just him when there's so much.
Right.
But you've seen that video?
It's tough. Maybe. Which one?
It's like a cop in San Jose who's bouncing around with all his gear and his gun, gearing up and licking his lips. And then he says, fuck you, bitch, and then just shoots him for no reason. It's
jeez.
It's crazy. I'm really sick of the, not all cops are bad. Because it's the same thing as all lives matter. It's right. Of course not all cops are bad, you fucking dummies. But some are. And that's not okay. It's not not all masseuses are great. That's fine because it's a pretty easy bar and there's not that much harm that can be done. You know what I mean? It's not a position where you should be like, oh yeah, there's always going to be some pretty bad ones. They're murdering people. So it's not, you can't just excuse it as, oh, of course there's going to be some bad ones. It's crazy to me. I'm sick of hearing it. And what's wrong is people don't understand what they're saying. And I do believe that a lot of people just aren't hearing a conversation and they just think that. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's a bunch of young white kids who grew up with the same privilege you and I, because that used to probably be my thought 10 years ago. My first thought would probably be oh, not all cops are doing this. Come on. And now it's dude, you're such an asshole for even saying that, because it's if there's two, if there's one, that's the problem. It's crazy to me that people can't. There's a lot of background noise right now. Is that
might be BBD. Like I'm hearing that too. I don't have it now.
I just muted.
But yeah, I mean, I jumped onto Keith's town hall thing he was doing last week. Just kind of a place to air it out a little bit. Like people still, didn't really have a grasp of what was going on. And yeah, my thing that I think I mentioned on here on JJR last week was, when I was driving back, the George Floyd pictures, I didn't know he was killed. Like I just thought all I saw when I was coming back from South Carolina was a picture of a cop on a guy's neck. And my brain didn't even compute that someone would do that for so long to kill a human. And then my other thing I said on there, because I was an All Lives Matter person, because that's kind of how I think about things. And in my brain, I said that kind of worked and that kind of made sense because, I think we should all be equal. Like that's the world I want to live in. And the fact is, All Lives Matter is still the goal. But Black Lives Matter is what needs to be happening right now. And I don't know. There's so many different ways to describe it. I just saw a good one by Stroman this morning that was talking about if they were houses next to each other, and someone said, well, all houses matter, but one of the houses is on fire right now. It's like, all houses do matter, but we got to deal with the ones that's on fire right now and deal with that and catch it up to the other houses. And it's, I go on my rant about when you're younger, you think about things differently. And, I bet when I'm 35, I'll look at 30-year-old Jake and I'll say, maybe he was enlightened, maybe he turned a corner, but I'm sure I'll be smarter about some things then than I am now. So it's, I don't know. It's, and the people that go on these things defending the police, it's exactly what you just said. Like, yeah, there's a lot of good policemen that shouldn't have to be dealing with this shit. But there's a lot of bad ones too. And like, we have to weed them out because they're kind of the ones that run the society a little bit.
Well, it's just not a profession where you can be like, yeah, every profession is going to have bad ones. No, I mean, something should be held to a higher standard where you have like, a 99 good ones hit rate. Like, come on. It's not an excuse. It's so crazy to me that people say that. And dude, what's even worse, and like where it becomes like, what's going on is where question mark, like where I keep looking at all this, like, what is this? Like all these young kids that are like 14, 15 years old that are dressed in all black and the pallet of bricks being delivered. Like
the Antifa stuff, I still can't wrap my head around. Like, what's going on?
Where do they meet? 4chan? I don't even, that's like a half joke, half guess. I don't know. Like, I don't get it. It's so weird now that, peaceful protesters now have to, like, did you see the video where there was a white kid that was breaking up the curb to give weapons and bricks to the peaceful protesters, and the peaceful protesters grabbed him and handed him to the cops?
Yeah.
Like, what's that then? Like, now you have the peaceful cops and the peaceful protesters. That was a good video. Like, yeah, okay, the cops and the protesters work together, but who the fuck is that kid?
Yeah.
And what's he doing?
It's like there's a fist fight that's supposed to be one-on-one, and yet there's this someone on the side who comes in with a knife and is just like stabbing now and then.
But that's what they are, right? I don't know too much, but aren't they like agents of chaos? Like that's their whole goal.
BBD, you're my Antifa guy, and you're the younger guy in the program. What's up, dude?
I would never claim to be an Antifa expert, so let's get that out there. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird times. I guess sort of circling back, like, I don't know. I've been a first responder for a while. Don't talk about it much. It's like, yeah, I know every cop I've interacted with has been like a good person, but how do you not see like, how have you seen any of these stories and not think, well, it's a good place to start making changes there? Because how many times do you need to see the same story happen?
It's actually great. If like, hey, not all cops are bad. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's fix the ones that are.
Huge.
It's huge news. Great.
Yeah.
So if those five are good and that one is bad, have those five get out that one. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's the scenes are unbelievable, man. That's what got me going last night, because I was like, I was in it all day yesterday, and then we did Talking Yanks, and it was nice, like I said. And then I opened my phone and I see like Philly, and there's cops on both sides of people that were doing a peaceful protest. And you can't, if there's people doing a peaceful protest, you can't point at the looting and riots and say, well, if people are going to loot and riot. No, because these are the peaceful ones. And there's cops on both sides of them gassing them. Like, what? This is in Philadelphia, Liberty Bell, Phillies, however you have to label the city. Here. And then after that, the helicopter hovering over people by the Capitol. Like, what do we think is happening? This is real life.
Yeah. The scenes are scary, man. They're going to be in textbooks or they won't. It's funny. It's always like, it's
what
nuts.
BBD amongst your like friends group, is everyone kind of in lockstep? Are there some people that kind of aren't grasping stuff? I mean, you don't have to throw anyone under the bus. But.
There's a group of people I'm friends with that we're never gonna get it. Just the way they're wired. So kind of just not talking to them right now. Which probably isn't like the thing, but like you can't see people anyway, so I have to like go out of my way to call people and have a bad conversation. It's like, but the rest of us are like, yo, he's kind of the worst, right? So I don't know. It's just weird vibes, and it's kind of weird to handle stuff because you can't see people and have like a real conversation right now unless you're at a riot and then Corona, all that. I don't know.
Man, the best thing you can do as like a society
I don't know.
is have kids and raise them right, and then go raise their friends right, and just, I mean, generation above us is fucked. Our generation's probably halfway fucked. Just like put it in the damn textbooks in schools. Teach them about Prudence Crandall, and that's what I was talking about on the morning show. Prudence Crandall and the Tulsa massacre, and fucking teach this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tulsa massacre thing was insane. The Brandon McCarthy poll. And you click on it, and dude, I was one of them. I clicked no. I was like, no, I didn't learn this in school. And then you see, 96% clip did not. And then it ties into the history books and everything you're talking about. And yeah, man, that's when they do write the books of all this, whether they're truthful or not, there's the case study ties into a lot of people that live lives on the internet not being a real person. And, they want to jump in and almost have like the hot take, like they're pretending it's sports. And like, so I got into a fight with some guy who was like, oh, dude, end racism. That's like saying you want to end like serial killers. And it's like, yes, like
two good ideas, two great ideas.
Let's run it.
Those are good goals.
Let's set that bar, man. And like,
no, you're talking crazy, man.
And it's, I don't know. I don't know. And then like, dude, you start trying to fast forward to like, how is this not going to wrap up? But how does this, what are the next steps? And, I saw some tweets and stuff that were coming out that I think, 6 days into the 1965 riots or whatever they were, that the Civil Rights Act was done. And it's like, I haven't heard one thing about the government doing anything. The only thing I've heard is that maybe the Army's going to come into this, which again, sounds like the bad stuff I was supposed to learn in the history books.
How weird was that video of Trump holding up the Bible?
Like, what?
Looks like a guy that holds Bibles often.
And did you see his back and forth with the reporter? The reporter goes, "Is that your Bible?" And he goes, "It's a Bible." And then,
well, did you hear when they asked him his favorite passage?
Mm-mm.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it, dude. It's classic. Like, has to do a book report on a book he didn't read. Well, that's pretty that's pretty personal. I'm not going to go into my favorite passage.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
hey.
It's a lot.
I don't want to
stuff.
bring religion into this.
Yeah. And then the interviewer goes, well, like, do you like the New Testament or the Old Testament better? And he goes, probably both. Probably both.
Yeah, I mean, how do you pick between your kids?
Whole thing's a fucking shit show, man. It's scary.
Scary.
It's
Very
super
scary.
Those fucking white kids pissing me off. I don't understand it. Nothing has been ever more evident than the horseshoe thing with fucking those 14, 15-year-old white kids, Antifa, doing things in the name of anti-fascism, and then also the white supremacist MAGA people doing the same shit in the name of racism. The horseshoe theory, BBD, I talk about all the time. The two ends of the horseshoe are closer together. So the far left and the far right are closer together. I mean, those are the same fucking people. The same people. It's crazy. Did you see Ice-T had a great quote? He was like, I ain't left wing, I ain't right wing. Both wings are on the same damn bird. It's like, hell yeah. Great.
Yeah, like I'm living by that.
One-winged bird ain't getting nowhere, man. It's just flying in circles. That's the country right now. That's crazy.
Fuck, man.
It's nuts.
And then, like, man, I don't know. There was another tweet going around about the age of everyone, and it's like, Trump 73, Biden 77, the average senator's like 60 or something, and it's just like, that is part of the problem. And I get it. I will be old one day, and there's a slim chance I'm a sharp 72-year-old and I still want to talk baseball. There's a good chance I'm going to be crazy and putting up a little bit of a fight that, Derek Jeter was better than Mike Trout. Like, there's a chance I'm just deep end by then.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. But, like, there just needs to be more young people. The two presidential candidates are, by the time they turn, if they win, like, they're going to be either close to 80 or in their 80s. And I do this all the time, man. Picture someone that's 80 years old.
Got it.
They're the president.
How close are they to 80? Isn't it? It's more 70,
I think Biden's 77. I think Trump's 73.
Biden's 77?
77, dude.
I believe those are correct numbers.
That's way too old. I didn't know that. I hate politics. Like, with
who's the young hip candidate? Bernie Sanders. Know how old he is? 114, but he's still fighting.
He's 78. Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, it's fucked up. That's stupid. I hate politics, man.
So I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Think about, and this is kind of unfair. I have one person who could, I mentioned the other day, or a couple weeks ago, how like Big Cat was entering like future president conversations. And that's like if he stays on a path and he's well liked and he does good stuff and he gets more involved, blah, blah, blah. There's one person in the world that they could announce they're running for president today and they would win, but they'd have the burden of the world on them. And it's Michelle Obama, man. Like, imagine being her.
Dude,
she doesn't want that at all.
I don't think she'd win easily.
I think she would, man.
I think Trump's going to win. I think Trump's going to win again.
I don't know. I thought that before all this, but I think this
this might
changed
change
things.
But, there's a lot of closeted racists who right now are screaming because they feel victimized, which is the biggest irony of them all. It's the biggest, like, you're coming for me. Oh, yeah. That's, the
issue with
your racist brain is the victim here. Yeah. Good shit. I got you.
Yeah, the issue with what you just said, Jake, is that the problem with most of this is that a good portion of the country hates black women, so it wouldn't be an easy path.
Yeah, I don't think that's an easy victory at all. I thought you were going to say The Rock.
Get my vote easily.
I'm Team The Rock.
That's what I was thinking when you said it. Michelle Obama, not The Rock, but Rock also popped in.
Look how many dumb people there are in the world, man. They all get a fucking vote. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You should age out of being a president. You really should.
Like, we need a number, right? We need a limit.
Yeah. What's the youngest? You can't be 35 or 40?
You have to be 35.
And that's great too. I'd even bump that to 40.
That's kind of a nice number. I think they did really well with 35.
I'd go 35 to 65.
Like, if you can punch it through life well enough to have a chance in your second half of 30, you deserve the chance at it.
I mean, I'm 31, right? So, like, I don't know enough. I'm not trying to know enough anyway. But I think I'd go 40 to 60. 40 to 65.
Yeah.
Because say you win, then you get 8 terms.
8 years.
So, like,
2 terms.
8 years, 2 terms. So, yeah. You knew what I was saying. But, like, so cut off at, 75 and up. When do you get senior citizen shit? Like, when do you get,
It depends on the shit, right?
Like, when do you get, when the government is legally.
I think 65, you're legally.
Okay, but that's too young.
I don't know what's changed.
Like, if the government
made in the 20s.
If the government decides on an age where, like, hey, we'll help you out because you're fucking old, that should also be the age where, like, you can't lead the country anymore.
You have to start your first term of presidency by age 65, like something like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said 35
so if you're
to
good
65.
and then you could stick it out till 74 or whatever.
You could do one more
Yeah.
term or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, think, a lot of presidents, there's all sorts of different crap on this that, a president needs 2 terms to establish their stuff, blah, 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 whatever. Let's say Joe wins. Is he going to go from 78 to, what's that, 86?
It's scary, man. 86 is so old. I mean, people don't, that's like the average person dies before then. I didn't know he was that old. Good for him. He keeps himself in shape. How about that picture I sent you guys? You guys didn't like that? See how long his leg looks?
Long leg. I didn't know if he faced that or something.
You thought I face-tapped his long leg?
I thought you made his leg particularly long.
No, dude. That's I understand why. Yes, I understand why you'd think that. I would do that. I didn't make his leg long. His leg is just fucking really long. It's bizarre. I'm trying to get it on the screen right now. He they want to take pictures with him, right? So he drops into this badass pose where he puts his leg up on the curb and starts Fonzie in it, just looking super cool. Which in and of itself is, you're old, man. Biden's done a good job faking people out that he's not as old as he is. I had no idea he was 77. All right, we can get into the topics and stuff after I show you this picture of long leg Biden.
Long leg Biden.
It's so long. I was going to tweet it, but then I was like, I am not tweeting something political. And even a picture of him having a long leg.
Oh my God, yeah.
Just your picture saying this is a picture of Biden and the leg looks ridiculously long.
Yeah, I was just going to tweet it.
Otherwise, it'd be a mess.
I was just going to tweet it and be like, check out this fucking leg on Biden. How's it so long? I mean, but come on. That's a long leg, man.
It's a long leg. And so I think does he have a hat in his hand or a bag or something?
No, it's a hat or a bag. So that's helping the illusion. But this looks like this dude wouldn't be able to walk straight.
I mean...
Oh, symbolism, it's his left leg, Jake.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's his left leg's longer than his right, yeah, and it's elevated on the curb. Yeah, and that's I don't know, final thing before we get into some other stuff, I guess. Yeah, yes, there's political ties to this, and there's political ties to everything, but people just do right and wrong. Just do what in your head is right and what in your head is wrong, and you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's easy as that. I will say, dude, I do have an issue with the cookie cutter blanketed messages. like Airbnb just sent me a message. And I half get it, because if you have an audience you can reach and to spur this conversation. But like, Dunkaroos and
Right.
Eggo waffle.
Lindsay Adler summed it up best. She goes, personally, I go back and forth on the corporate team statements. Often they're just word salad and do not reflect the company's real relationship with the community. On the other hand, silence is putting the comfort of white players over the concern of black and brown players.
Yeah. Go back and forth.
So, I mean, you'd like to see them take more of a powerful stance, but you need to do something, anything, the New York Knicks, instead of just sending an email.
Speaking of that, let's go to the sports. Well, I don't know if the Bluetooth's on.
Nope. There it is. James, in the good game of baseball, which we love, yesterday should have been an exciting day because it overwhelmingly seems like baseball will be back in some form. The MLB has said that they will do 50 games, full prorated pay, and that's exciting because we're still at the negotiating table. In theory, we've got like a week or so left, and maybe that can even be stretched. And I think it's laughable that we might get to the 81 games that everyone kind of thought we agreed upon anyways. David Price will be paying the Dodgers minor leaguers. The Nationals had the same plan. Or the Nationals did not have the same plan. Sean Doolittle and the Nationals players were going to pay their minor leaguers. The Nationals did a takesy-backsy. They're going to pay their guys. A-Rod and J-Lo, second bid for the Mets. How irrelevant does that fucking feel? NBA, targeting a July 31st return day.
I'm just now looking at the sheet, and I put in banter on last Friday, I put Little Caesar catchphrase. We didn't get around to that, but...
We didn't get around to that. You want to talk about it?
Well, I was just laughing at the pitch meeting when they hired...
They own the Red Wings and stuff, so this does fit into sports.
Oh, yeah. The Little Caesars own the Red Wings and some other team in Detroit. So it does fit into sports. No, I was saying, Little Caesars hires a marketing campaign to come up with their slogan and their saying, and they probably spent good money. And then they okay, what do you have? And I just want to be in the meeting when the guy goes, okay, this is what we've come up with. Pizza.
I mean, that's good.
And then they're like, wow, worth our money. Yes.
It's because isn't their main guy like literally a Little Caesar? Like he's got the Roman garb on and he's little.
That's the idea, yeah.
So it's Little Caesar, pizza.
Pizza.
That's genius, man.
It's simple. I just want to be there because there was someone on the Little Caesar side of the room being like, "What the fuck?" And then the one guy was like, "It's perfect."
Yeah,
we paid you $20,000, $100,000 to come up with pizza.
I mean, I think you're starting to see why I majored in marketing because my interest comes from the hilarity of it. Like if Pepsi stopped advertising tomorrow, I think they'd still sell shit. But, we have these kind of ridiculous marketing campaigns that do work. And yeah, I also picture it like this, like Little Caesar was like, hey, you guys know what? Like I'm picturing the CEO. He didn't talk to anyone. And then he goes, I hired an ad company and I gave them the idea. And they're like, oh, did you go with the slogan, people helping pizza helping people, Little Caesars, here for the neighborhood and to serve you good pizza. And he goes, no. Pizza.
And it's been there for a while now.
I want them to know what we're selling.
Yeah, I will say, you make commercials fun because you love dumb commercials. Where most people hate commercials, and then you go to college and you live in a room with Jake, and you learn that commercials actually provide more entertainment than the show for Jake sometimes.
They can. They
Yeah.
can. And it's
Y'all know how to upload videos to Facebook.
I mean, that's been a running joke amongst our friends for how long now?
Well, that commercial was in 2011, so almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade now running on that. Yeah, and there's some weird brain stuff. Like you kind of get hypnotized a little bit. Man, I remember there's an impactful moment. It's funny what's impactful and impactful getting used right now. But dude, we found out that here we go. Here's bringing people together. We found out that the campus police department at Central, they would play a pickup basketball game in the school's main gym like every Tuesday night. So me and our buddy Ken found out about this, and I think we rolled through a couple times. And dude, we played them, and it was a good time, competitive, fun. But dude, they were on some old man-ish, and they weren't old men quoting one of the Geico like cavemen commercials, like every pass, every shot, and they would just belly laugh like old men. And it's this weird marketing brainwash thing that's it's funny to me, and it's also the terrifying thing, like when we do those word things that sound the same, and I'm like, oh, those people know.
You think Rihanna wrote that song two different ways?
Maybe, yeah. Like their producers or people high up were like, what's some lyrical stuff we can brain twist people with.
Let's skip MLB and the passing stuff because we're gonna do it on Talking Baseball, and we did it on yesterday with Talking Yanks. I think it's really good news. I think they're finally negotiating in good faith. They hadn't been negotiating in good faith up until the last couple days. So, I mean, do you want to do like a one sentence? But let's save the big combo.
Yeah, I kind of did it in the thing. It seems like baseball will be back. It's just in what form, which should have been just elating news for you and I could barely even function last night.
David Price paid for the Dodgers minor leaguers. The Nationals are paying. Nationals said they'd pay for the minor leaguers getting cut, and then the Nationals were like, "Oh, never mind. Okay, we'll do it. Don't make us look bad. We'll just pay for them." And I don't know if you read Pimpsner's article because we differed on this with the Yankees cutting 45 guys yesterday, but Pimpsner, who does prospect stuff and as big a pro prospect guy as you can get.
Yes.
He said the Yankees usually cut 25 guys at the end of spring and 20 guys in the middle of June, so this is no different than any other year.
Right. I mean, that's what I was saying last night. But
that's what I was saying, and you were countering.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying the exact same cut thing, but like if we're saying the Nationals and David Price is a good story, it's like the same thing.
But the Nationals, I think, cut more than normal. What, like 45 guys?
So. That's where we differ. I don't think they have.
I feel like if
what everyone's still getting mad about.
I feel like if they did, it would, like, I haven't seen the same counter that the Yankees have done. Like, no, this is normal. I haven't seen anyone for the Nationals say, no, this is normal.
I mean, that's what all the GMs and owners are saying, that normally these guys would be cut anyways, but it's just owners have all this money that pay these guys $200K and it can get them through the next 2 months. That's the whole discussion.
Yeah. All right. I don't know the numbers on it, but I know that they're not cutting them. It's not because of lost revenue and they need to like find losses. It's the normal year in, year out cuts because they're about to draft people and sign undrafted free agents. That's just how it works. NBA targeting a July 31st return date, and they're still up in the air about if it's going to be playoffs or everyone comes back, right?
Say that again.
The NBA. They're still undecided on like with a format and how many teams and all that, right?
Yeah, they still don't know. They're exploring some fun options. It's again, seems almost irrelevant, but the only thing that's really curious about it is that the last couple seeds in the West were somewhat open. Like if they just continued the season normally. And I think the NBA is also a smart league because a couple of those teams are really well liked. Like the Trailblazers, I mean, they've been a good teams in past years. Dame Lillard's a big star. Zion and the Pelicans are still in it. So I think Adam Silver is a very smart man, and he says, hey, if we can get these guys involved, let's figure out a way to do it while still not inviting teams like the Knicks and Cavaliers that are terrible because they don't need to be around. So they've talked about some different formats to mess around with. And again, they're, here's a corny thing. Anything can be an opportunity. Oh, and Jake jumped out the window. Anything can be an opportunity, and the NBA has wanted to experiment with some stuff for a while. So there's a chance they could open this up more, almost make it a cup or an invitational, like how soccer has different tournaments. And they could make, I think Mark Cuban was pushing this, that they could make this a separate tournament, call it like the David Stern Cup or something like that. And then you could have a normal NBA championship. And that way you almost create 2 championships. And I know the NBA has been jealous of the European soccer leagues that do things like this for a while now. So it'll be interesting to see where they land. Either way, we should be getting some good competitive basketball. And is COVID still an issue?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that if basketball and hockey are playing, and then baseball still says they need all those guidelines of like throw the ball out, can't stand next to each other. I mean, you got NHL and basketball playing. Those guys are breathing on each other nonstop. Yeah.
Go try to block a shot. Guard someone.
Are you going to be more?
Fouls are literally when you make contact with people.
Are you going to be mad if Corona doesn't come back?
No.
Okay.
I think, and what Jim, here's my thing that people are afraid to say, and it's my strength. I have no idea. There was a pandemic that we didn't know enough about that was coming through hard. So I think we had to shut down either way and then make a new plan. Where I got mad, and you saw this, was when the smart people started fighting and said, no herd immunity. And it's like, yeah, there's no herd immunity because we all stayed inside. And then the others, that's when I get into chaos. But dude, it seems like we just kind of are going to have to live in a functioning world where you wear a face mask and you don't touch strangers and you can't kiss strangers, BBD.
Shit.
I'm just saying if all these protests and all this happens and mass gatherings, right? And there's no uptick.
Right.
Then it's going to be like, someone answer. You got to answer.
Yeah.
You got to give me some answers on that.
I mean, that's
and if there is an uptick, that's sadness on top of sadness on top of sadness.
that would make more sense with the path of how everything's going, right? But no, I think my thing, I guess, where there's no anger is because I was kind of already at grips with like what's going on. Like you saw it too. Like, the parks have been pretty busy. Society's like started going again. And this this might just put it over the top where it's like, hey, if you want to go to a concert, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll see. If there's no uptick, then people are going to just start having crowds again.
Like if you're old, be super careful. If you're sick, be super careful. Low immune, I get that. And, you still have to be conscious if you're interacting with one of those people. But outside of that, people are done.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Any other sports news? A-Rod and J-Lo are making a second bid for the Mets. Don't care. Don't think
it felt more important on Friday when I put that in there. But
I'm not coming at you, BBD. I just, it's good news.
No, just in general.
And that's really it. Cool. Let's go to halftime. Jake, people are really excited about your purchase of the week. So I just need a reminder that.
Damn. We might need an uplift this halftime.
Okay.
And I have something that might uplift you, and we might have to make a phone call on the air.
Oh, okay. Because I have something that I thought would uplift you too.
Did you talk to any of our friends last night? Did they tell you any big news?
No.
You should call Big Evan.
Is he a dad?
Big Evan of Evan and Co. His baby popped out 5 weeks early last night. Everyone is happy and healthy. Dude, and this I'll talk a little bit while Jimmy calls him. Dude, some big Evan lines. He's one of our oldest friends. Hilarious guy. I think he's going to start doing a little bit of stuff on John Boy Media. When he told a group of us last night in a group chat, he said that he didn't have a name for the baby yet because the baby books lied and told them that pregnancies were longer than that. So a little bit of his preparation levels is showed there. And then he said, the hospital has like rules. I think it ties to COVID and stuff that like if you're in for a pregnancy, like you kind of have to stay.
Yeah.
And he said the hospital broke those rules because he had brought literally nothing with him. So they let him go back and get stuff. And so he likes a good IPA. So we were like, Evan, you grab a couple beers? And he's like, you know what? I did grab a 4-pack of beers, but I did forget Lily's hairbrush. So his wife that gave birth and probably requested one thing he forgot. But he did grab a couple cervezas. But everyone's happy and healthy. I still genuinely don't know if they have a name yet.
I'm trying to call. I don't know if it's actually calling or not.
Okay.
It says calling. Oh.
Hello.
Hello?
Domino's Pizza.
Congratulations. You're on John Moy and Jake Radio. This is the first congratulations on live radio.
Thanks, man.
Jake,
Appreciate it.
Jake says you don't have a name yet.
No, I don't. If you guys could help crowdsource one, that would be really fantastic.
Okay. Well, the second half of the show will just be names. Just
right.
don't use MacDougal because that's what I'm naming my dog. And if you snake it from me now, that would be brutal.
Yeah.
I suggested Jake, but Lily said she doesn't like dog names for babies. So.
Yep, that's a smart move. Well, congratulations. Tell Lily I say congrats. Okay, bye. He hung up. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
You get a name.
that's some good news for you. You've got a baby to hold.
I was going to play this song for you to cheer you up, and maybe this could be the name he uses.
Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina want to quit. You really
Dabalina. Could do that.
It's an upbeat song. It's an upbeat tune.
Oh, that song will make you happy.
Yeah.
I think Katie and I sent a gift to Evan. I don't know if it ever got sent.
Okay.
It's this device it's a shusher that Courtney used. It's so rich, dumb parent device. Because it's literally a sound device that just goes shh, shh, shh. You put it in their crib next to them, and like it, my nephew Ike loved it. But they had their au pair come over from Brazil, and one of the first things she texted her family was like, "They're so rich, they have a shusher." Yeah. They don't even shush themselves. And my sister was like, shit.
Yeah.
It's a very creepy thing, though. Shh. Dude, I read a tweet that was like, sucks for everyone having babies, puppies, and getting engaged because you can't post about it.
Yeah.
I told Katie, I was like, hey, I know we're getting the dog on Friday, but I don't think we're allowed to celebrate that right now. Currently.
Yeah.
Little tone
no, deaf. I'll differ a little bit because, I went on Instagram and today's the blackout and all that. There was a girl who got engaged yesterday and she posted the pictures today. And I was like, you know what? Like fucking A, if she wants to post those, she can do it. Like,
it's tough times. Well, it's Blackout Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome for Evan. You got to buy something. Why don't you buy Evan a gift? Use that as your purchase.
Screw that. Don't even know kid's name.
I mean, let's think of good names here.
Give me a name, I'll get a gift.
All right.
That's my deal with babies.
Listen, they live in Boston. Lily's Irish.
Evan's Greek.
Oh, dude, Greek names are so fun.
Yeah. Evan's, I mean, he's been throwing out a lot of silly soccer names because he's a big Liverpool fan. So he's been pushing Jurgen pretty strong for the Liverpool head coach, Jurgen Klopp. But he says that's no bend by Lily on that one so
far. Most popular Greek boy names 2019. 22 of the most popular Greek boy names. Let's see.
Here we go.
No thanks. Ads. I don't care. Adonis, Leon, Damien, Moises, Cristiano. That's not bad.
Strong. I don't think he'd do it with that wanker Ronaldo around though.
Draco. Marcos Macris.
Marcos Mac. Well, we told Evan's name on the air, so go follow him. But yeah.
Marcos. Nicholas. Takis. Greek, man. Wild language. All right. Get out of that.
Congrats to Greece and Ireland.
They finally came together.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
Belgian man keeps mysteriously receiving loads of pizza that he did not order. Burp. A Georgia teacher fakes a kidnapping to cover up gay sex motel shakedown. A man broke into a California bank to heat up a Hot Pocket. He got arrested and says it was worth it. Lenny Dykstra's reputation is so bad it's legally impossible to libel him. That's a tough break. And a Texas bar resists coronavirus guidance and turns away mask wearers. Fucking assholes. Jesus. Oh, man. There's turning away mask wearers is just fuck you. I'm not reading that article because I don't want to accidentally say the name of the bar.
Yeah.
Belgian man keeps mysteriously receiving loads of pizza he didn't order. Is pretty funny. I hope it's just a neighbor. It's like a really
just powering through. Just powering through is pretty good.
I tried to click on the link, but they're participating in Blackout Tuesday, so we can't read the story.
Okay, that's fair.
It's fair. Let's make up the story. I think it's the person who lived in the apartment before him who got kicked out, and they believe they got kicked out undeservedly so, and they think they're getting back at the landlord, but the landlord just has a new tenant, and this new tenant at first loved the pizza. This is great. Okay, honey. Yeah. Remember I said I was going to go grill? Well, fuck it. We got pizza. And the second time, it's like, okay, honey, it's the pizza thing again. And then it became a weekly thing where it's like every Friday he got a pizza, and like they began to really enjoy it. Free pizza Fridays. And then it became every day. And now it's a problem.
I could see myself being sucked into this, and it's because, sometimes you just have to lean into something. And if pizza's showing up, just got to run with it until it's not. Again, you start comparing things to the world problems. Hey, if my problem is I have to keep eating this pizza, then I will do it.
Yeah. What if it's bad? Like, what if it's bad? It's like a different kind every week. Like, that would suck. Like, one time it's anchovies, the next it's sun-dried tomatoes.
That's the fun social experiment. If this is the neighbor, it's like you start with like some really good stuff, and then you go down. Like, you start with the best pizza place in town, and then you go to like, people debate the second, third tier spots. You do a couple of those, mix it up, and the guy's like, okay, we're just getting a variety. We're not going down in caliber. Mm-hmm. And then you drop it down a step above Chuck E. Cheese. What was Chuck E. Cheese calling itself last week? Some Italian name?
Yeah. Dude,
Giovanni's or something?
Yeah, it's let me find it. They renamed themselves. Where is it? It was something Pasquale's.
Pasquale's
Pasquale's.
Pizza and Wings.
Yeah, Pasquale's Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese.
Go get some Pasquale's.
Maybe there was like,
So-
you know how like, we're getting a dog now, so on Amazon we're signing up for like, give us food once a month so we don't have to think about it. The
Right.
previous tenant had that deal with the pizza place. Here's my credit card every fucking Friday. Send me a box. I don't want to have to call in an order. Just put it on loop. That dude dies. The new tenant moves in. The dead dude's credit card's still getting charged. The new tenant's just eating the pizza every Friday. It's a great deal.
Dude, I hate mail. I hate mail.
Yeah, I like mail. I don't like
Yeah.
mail in the envelopes, but I don't even bring that up. I just leave it on the counter down at the lobby.
I mean, I just had a realization the other day. I mean, whether it's regular mail, emails, just don't like them.
Oh, emails suck, man. I got so many I got to respond to right now.
Right, dude? I mean, when you put them all in the mail bucket, it's like, I don't like mail.
I like packages and gifts.
Sure, who doesn't like a gift?
You ordering something for yourself or not?
I already ordered.
What'd you order?
I ordered a barbecue sauce, Charboy Southern BBQ.
Have you had that before?
No, but I Googled black businesses to support. And they came up. And I was like, I like barbecue sauce, so I got it.
Okay, cool. Charboys. Hope it's
Hope
good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think we just ran out of barbecue sauce at my house, so they'll get an order from me too.
Look at that.
I'll wait to see if Jake likes it.
That's fair. And that's fair.
Yeah.
We're out, so it's got to get ordered.
I made barbecue wings the other day. Oh, making wings in the air fryer is so easy. It might become like
Yeah?
a new weekly make. Yeah. You just buy, the wings, drumsticks. I like drumsticks.
Sure.
You literally just season them, which is so easy. Wet them, dry them with the paper towel, rub some seasoning all over them, put them in the air fryer for 30 minutes, and then they're good. And then drench them in whatever sauce you want. It's so easy. They're so good.
You got to give me one step less, and I'm in on that. And I'll add it to my weekly rotation.
I mean, what step lost you?
I don't know. There's 2 seasonings, and then the drying off in between. That kind of lost me, to be just being honest.
I mean,
That's where I am.
you just
Thanks,
gotta
David.
dry them and then put salt and pepper on them.
Seems like a double season and a dry. I don't know. It feels like I'm getting out of control with paper towels in between them. I'm mixing up the seasonings. Do I like the seasonings? I don't know.
Well, you choose the seasoning.
I don't think I have salt in my house right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys just don't cook at all?
We cook a lot. We've been cooking almost every day.
What are you cooking? If that's a lot to you, just seasoning chicken and heating it up, what are you cooking?
We had a turkey and pasta dish last night. Deli meats for lunch, omelet in the morning.
That's not cooking.
Had an omelet again.
Deli
Omelet
meats.
is cooking.
I was
so-
deli meats is what I was saying, isn't cooking.
Yeah, lunch was not cooked. But that's fine. I don't know if all of your meals were cooked. And then yeah, I mean, pretty basic. Cook a little chicken, cook a little meats, usually for dinner. Some veggies. We had the zucchini noodles. Just did those last night.
Nice. But when you cook chicken, then don't you put salt and pepper on it and put it in the oven?
No.
How do you cook chicken?
It's either we've got one of those pot things that cooks stuff. Jess does it in there. I mean, I like to grill. That's been kind of cut off for a little while now.
But you don't put salt and
stovetop.
pepper on it before you grill it?
No.
So white.
Yeah, I mean, I usually put a little bit of seasoning, sometimes those seasoning packets.
Okay.
Not salt
right.
and pepper.
Everything should have salt and pepper on. It's like a base for
Ooh.
everything.
Ooh, hot take.
That might be my coldest take. This Georgia teacher fakes kidnapping to cover up gay sex motel shakedown. I'm guessing he was gay and he's in the closet and he went to a motel for gay sex and then he thought he was going to get outed, so he faked a kidnapping. Georgia teacher Chris Keys was arrested for solicitation of sodomy after he met a man at a hotel for gay sex, was mugged and robbed, then tried to lie and claim he was kidnapped to cover up. Oh, so I mean, he got Mickey Avalon, and didn't want to admit how he lost all his stuff, so he just lied about it. I mean, that's normal. You're not going to go to the cops and say the hooker I got beat me up. You almost can't.
Shout out to 96K The Rock, the radio from Macon, Georgia, that brought that story to our attention.
Tough break for that guy. Come out of the closet, be okay with who you are, fall in love, find peace. That's my advice. And then, this dude broke into a bank just to heat up a Hot Pocket. How do you know the bank had a microwave? Is that an assumption most people make? Because it's a workplace?
Anywhere that's going to be a workplace and has a kitchen is going to have a microwave pretty much, right? We have one in our office.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. But 7-Elevens, you can just do this. They have microwaves. You don't need to break in.
Crazy times. Maybe it's a good cover up. Maybe the guy was like, hey, I'm going to break into this bank, snag a little money. If they catch me, I'll just cook my Hot Pocket in the microwave.
Spot on.
Yeah.
It's a bad cover up that somehow they fell for. This dude was trying to rob the bank with a Hot Pocket in his pocket.
Oh, wait, this is a bank? I was just trying to cook my Hot Pocket.
Yeah. I mean, you could go places to heat up a Hot Pocket for free. Gas stations have microwaves. Hotel usually has a little microwave you can use if you want in the lobby area. So this dude was trying to rob the bank, and then he was like, no. You guys have this all wrong. Pulls a Hot Pocket out of his pocket. I just was trying to heat this thing up.
I mean, I think they've caught him and stuff, and he was like, he talked to a reporter, and he was like, hell yeah, it was worth it.
Transcript's funny.
Yeah.
You want to read? You want to act out this transcript? I'll be the reporter. Okay. You be the man.
Okay.
You did that for a Hot Pocket?
Yes. All that for a Hot Pocket.
You broke into a bank for a Hot Pocket?
Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket.
Was it worth it?
Hell yeah, it was worth it. Bleep yes, it was worth it. A Hot Pocket? Hell yeah.
So that's the guy who tried to rob a bank with a Hot Pocket in his pocket. It's a great cover up.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to assume some sort of drugs or something is involved because, I mean, he smashed through a bank's window at a drive-thru. So, I mean, A plus B still doesn't equal C there.
Yeah, nothing adds up. Anyway.
Or, I mean, maybe it's a Wells Fargo Hot Pocket marketing campaign.
Okay. Yeah, it sure is. Hot Pockets are weird. In the chat, Michael James Clark says, give me a quick pitch on an air fryer I can apply for my wife who denies my request to purchase one. And Abe said cooking without salt, ? Which is truly bizarre with Abe. But the pitch for the air fryer is the Foodie Ninja does everything. I mean, it's a pressure cooker for rice. It's a, what's the slow cooker for soups and slow cooking things. You can just straight up grill on it. You can roast things. You can dry out fruit in it. You can air fry things, which is really good. And you can just straight up bake things. It has every setting that you want. And then someone said that it takes up too much counter space. But we just put ours underneath the counter and then we put it on the counter when we use it. Foodie Ninja also just came out with a brand new one that we want that doesn't take up a lot of counter space at all. So go get one.
Yeah, we cook chicken and chilies in there. Does take up a chunk of counter space.
You have an air fryer or just a slow cooker?
Air fryer, I think. Yeah.
Crazy. That's cool. Should start using it. Make wings.
That's what I was telling you. I was hooked until you had one too many steps for me. I'm sorry.
It's literally 2 steps.
No, dude. You had a season and then a dry and then a
Separate
season. I was one too many steps.
There's one
I'm sorry.
seasoning. You just,
I'm
that is
sorry.
how you cook chicken. If you don't dry your chicken and then put seasonings on it before you cook it, like I'm really confused what your chicken is.
I don't think I've ever dried chicken.
You just take it straight out of the slimy container and just cook it. You don't like
Little olive oil, little seasoning. Yeah.
so that's 2 steps. So you're same amount of steps.
No drying.
Yeah, but you'd have the olive oil, which isn't in my
Olive
step.
oil and seasoning are one step.
Just putting stuff on it.
Yeah.
One
Thank
step.
you, David. He gets it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You just gotta.
Corrected.
All right, bet of the day.
Better days, better day, better day, better day.
Bet of the day, bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. On Thursday, Jake bet Wolfsburg versus Eintracht Frankfurt. It was even money for Wolfsburg to win. Jake picks Wolfsburg. I agreed. Do we have a result from that matchup?
I'm pretty sure we lost. I don't know if BBD is looking that up now. I'm pretty sure we lost. I was pretty bummed out about it. There was some crap stuff, man. I think Wolfsburg had like 19 shots and Eintracht had 7 or something like that, and Eintracht won.
Great keeper.
So yeah, I mean BBD can lock that up, but I'm 95% that was an L. And I was gonna get away from Bundesliga because I've made the mistake before of not walking away with a winning record somewhere, but it still is the only sport being played because there was a pandemic last week.
Eintracht
Remember
won.
that?
Eintracht won 2-1, which is crazy because Eintracht Frankfurt sucks.
They're terrible, dude. Look at the shots. It's unreal.
Like what happened? Wolfsburg, classic trap game. We got trapped.
I think they just hit that point where you're throwing it at the net so much it's not going in. You get frustrated, and then Eintracht gets one. But that's how it goes. We all know that. It looks like there's a game tomorrow, so I'll bet on that now, and then we'll push
Jake.
the other bets. Okay.
The shots on target for Wolfsburg from this game: 16 shots, 4 on target. So they're just booting the ball around.
Okay, so they weren't feeling it.
They're just booting it around.
They were not in the zone. They were not locked in. Little disappointed in you, Wolfsburg. The game tomorrow is, Eintracht is back. And they're peacocking so hard. And they're playing SV Werder Bremen, who's good. We all know that, we think.
No, Werder's terrible, man.
These teams both stink.
Werder's bad, man. Werder only has 25 points. They're in 17th place out of 18 teams. Eintracht's all the way up to 12th now.
These teams stink. So, Jim, this gets really tricky because do we think Eintracht turns it around? They see themselves in 12th and they're like, hey, we can make a push? Or do they just stink?
No, what's going to happen here, dude, is Werder is now the trap game. And they're going to track Eintracht Frankfurt.
How about, God, under, over, it's tough. God, how do people bet, man? Eintracht, lock it up. They're going to get me on their good side. See, they win this one. They get me on their good side. They lose this one. I hate them forever. This is a fandom game.
It seems like another trap, man, because Eintracht's bad. They beat Wolfsburg, and it's a big win, but Wolfsburg was clearly just booting the ball everywhere. Wolfsburg played bad more than Eintracht played well, and everyone is in agreement there. I'm trying to see if they've played Werder yet. Werder. They did. They tied back in October. Completely different team since then, so you can't really even use it against you. For the sake of a different result.
Jakey, about to make a big mistakey.
Boom.
It's fair.
I'm on Werder, Underdog City. People, we forgot
Very
to do a
fair.
state. BBD, did you have a state locked up at halftime that we didn't allow you to say because
Ooh.
we were doing baby stuff?
On Thursday I did, but I don't remember. Today I felt kind of weird about doing a state because of the world. But we can just say Minnesota since that was where everything kind of started.
Wow. Shots fired at the episode. You think it was a war zone, huh? Did you see the video of that girl that took a selfie with the construction worker?
I saw that.
Yeah. It's tough.
Like, I'm a fan of public shaming sometimes. They found her
Did she
Instagram.
think that Instagram was going to be cool looking?
Dude, I looked at it. She only had 8,000 followers on Instagram. What? If you're not, like, I thought she was going to, like, you know, have a following on Instagram that was her living.
Yeah. There was someone got me good at first because they were like, hey, you know, homegirl's still done more than a couple pro teams. And it was like, geesh.
Yeah.
But
cool. All right. Well, that ends the episode today. We'll see you tomorrow. Whoa, that was so loud. Goodbye.